Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new software demo video. Today I'll be demoing my new application Kaizen, which aims to be a life hub productivity app that includes a to-do list, a habit tracker, an anti-habit tracker, and a journal. This app aims to be kind of a solution to using multiple different apps at the same time by providing all of these tools inside of one app. So I'm going to hop straight into it since this video is going to be quite long, as it's my first time explaining what this application does. So I will join over on the Windows side. We'll start with the installation, and then we'll hop into the Mac OS installation, and then I'll hop back over to Windows and demo Kaizen. So I hope you are able to get something out of this application, and all of the links for all of the resources for this app will be in the description. So let's get into it. So over on the Windows side here, it may be a little different depending on which operating system you're using. I've tested this using a Windows 10 computer and a Windows 11 computer. Right now, I will show on my Windows 11. We can go to our download page. We can scroll down and we'll see this Kaizen exe file. The version may vary based off of the current release, but we can go ahead and click this exe file and save that to my desktop here. Can minimize this page and we'll see that we now have the executable file for Kaizen. So now that we have Kaizen installed on our computer, we will have to go and run the Windows Smart Screen stuff to actually run this exe file. So if I double click this, you will see that Windows has protected your PC, and this is because there is this publisher is unknown, and that's just the reality of making an exe as an individual sometimes. So just to get around this, you want to hit that more info, just like I did here, and run anyway. And just like that, we are now in Kaizen. So heading over on the Mac OS side, we can go back to our downloads page, and this time we will want to get the macOS.zip file. This will give us the app file. So if I save that over to my desktop, we can see that I have the zip file here. I can double click that to unzip it, and we can see that I have the Kaizen app here. And so what we want to do is we can double click this, and we'll get this message saying that it can't be opened because the developer cannot be verified. We want to hit cancel on this, and we want to open our settings and go to Gatekeeper. And so over here on the Gatekeeper tab, I have some things probably blurred. We will notably see that Kaizen.app was blocked from use because it is not from an identified developer. So we can hit open anyway here. We can use our password here, and it'll say macOS cannot verify this app. Are you sure you want to open it? So you can hit open here. Once we have done that, we are also now able to just open Kaizen respectively, and we can see that we are back to the regular homepage, just like we saw on Windows. You'll see that on the startup, we have no widgets on our home screen. We can obviously change that as we go through the application. I want to highlight here that to navigate this application, we have this top menu bar here. It will be the same on macOS as well. So in our home menu, we can customize our home currently, and this interface, we can see the 4 different widgets that we have selected, so we can have a drop-down menu and select which one we want. So we'll come back to this. I don't want to make any changes right now, but let's go to the to-do and show off the to-do portion of this app. So, the Kaizen's to-do aims to be very minimalist, but also provide you the tools that you need to have a proper to-do list on your computer. So what we've done here is we have a kind of this left-hand side is for more sorting or viewing certain types of items, and also managing your projects, or as Kaizen will call them, epics. Epics allow you to essentially group your tasks based off of a project, or maybe if you're in school, a class. So I can click epics here and we can add an epic. So let's say that I'm in an introductory calculus class. I can have a calculus epic. And with epics, we can also set a color for them. And so we'll just set it to this color here. I can hit OK and hit OK on this bar. And we'll see that we now have a calculus epic here. Now, notably, if we want to edit the epic, we can click this pencil icon and we can change this. So let's say I want to be more specific. I'm in calculus 2. I can add that here. And then if I want to change the color, let's say to a blue instead, I can do that as well. And the epic will be updated respectively. And finally, we can delete here. I'm not going to delete it, but you can. Maybe if your classes are over or whatnot. So, all right. So now I'll go ahead and make another epic here. I'll just say something like CS1. So we'll just say computer science 1, um, just for example, and we'll set that to a green color here. So now I have 2 epics, and now I'm ready to add items to my to-do list. So I can head over here to this plus button here, and let's say that I have a limits assignment due in my calculus class. So at the moment I can assign a title to my to-do item. I can assign it a priority. So I would say my limits assignment is high priority. I could say it's due, let's say it's due tomorrow. Tomorrow will be May 8th. So at the moment we have to type it out in this format. In the future I will have a date picker allow you to look at a calendar and essentially pick a date. And then finally we can associate it with an epic. And I'll show you what happens if you don't have an epic. We can hit OK, and we'll see that the to-do item is just a default gray color. And that's the default color if you don't assign an epic's color, and if you don't assign a to-do item with an epic. So I can go and edit this to-do item similar to editing an epic, and I can obviously change the name, the priority, and the due date. And then what I'm going to do is just set that I have, this is a part of my calculus epic. So we'll see that the color obviously changes to the same color that is associated with the epic here. And likewise, I can add another one. We'll just say review syllabus, and we'll say that's a medium priority. We'll just say today. Today is May 7th, and we can associate that with calculus 1, or calculus 2 rather, as well. And then we can just go ahead and make some other ones. So review basic Java. I will say that's a medium priority one due in a few days here. We'll just say the 9th. And we'll say that's a part of our preparation for CS1. We can see that appears now on our to-do list. I will make another few ones. I'll say review basic logic. I will make that a medium priority one, due the 9th as well for CS2. And finally, I'll just make a test one that's low priority, just so we can test some other things. And I'll make one that is unfiled, meaning we won't assign it to anything special. And we'll go 11 here. And so now I have my to-do list right here, and we can see that my to-do list items are associated with the colors of our epics. And now I can show you kind of the sorting features of this to-do list. So right now by default we have sort by date, so we can see that each of these items are sorted by their due date. So the first due date item is this review syllabus. We can change that so we can have it be the other way around. So the furthest out item on our to-do list is this unfiled to-do item. And we can change it back just by clicking this sort by date. The next thing that we can do is sort by priority. So we can see that there are different priorities set here. So if I sort here, we'll see that my highest priority item is put first, along with my mediums and then my lows. And then if I go the other way around, my lowest items will be first, along with the mediums and the highest. But for now, I'll just leave it at date. Additionally, if we want to view all of our items, we can click here. That is the default view here. Otherwise, if we just want to view our to-do list for calculus, calculus 2 here, I can just click calculus 2, and we can see all of our to-do items that we need to do for calculus 2. Likewise, I can hit CS1, it'll show me all of those. And if I want to go back and view all of the items, I can go here. Finally, if we want to mark one as to do, or we want to mark one of our to-do lists items as done, we can click this checkbox here, and we will see that it is removed from our to-do list. And so let's say I also did the review basic logic, and I also completed the unfiled ones. We'll see they all get knocked off of our to-do list. This over here, we can view our completed items. So those 3 items that we marked as complete are viewed here. And if we want to go back to our to-do items, we can view them back here. So on the completed items page, we can see that these are our completed items. And we also have this X, and this X can actually delete all of the completed items if this page gets too cluttered for you. You can delete them all. Also, if you accidentally mark one as done, let's say I actually didn't review basic logic and I misclicked, I can just re-click the checkbox here and go back to my to-do items, and we'll see that it gets placed back in there. So that is kind of the gist of the to-do feature. I'm going to go back to the home and actually show you the to-do widget. So I can go here to my customize home, set my to-do widget here, and we'll see that I get to see my to-do list. So this is the all view of the to-do list. And we can also add items here. So we can just come up with something random, add that, and we'll see that if we add more than just more items to, we can see that we get this scroll bar as well. So we can have unlimited items essentially. All right, with that, we are going to move on to the habits section of Kaizen. So we'll see that by default we have 0 habits. Well, let's start to form them. So we have under this habits tab, we have a start habits and an update habits. We first want to start a habit. So what is the habit that I want to start? Well, I want to wake up early. Well, so we'll shoot for 6 in the morning. And I want to do this every day and make it a daily habit. So we can see that I just added that habit. Now if I go back to the habits tab, we can see that I now have this habit. Um, I will go through and add another one. Um, we'll just say I want to work out for 30 minutes and I want to do that every day. Likewise, today is Sunday. I will say that I want to do my laundry on Sunday, and I don't want to forget about that. I can hit only Sunday here, add that habit, and then I can go back to my habits, and we can see that out of my today's habits, I have 0 completed out of 3. And then the habit here, we can see that we have another checkbox. So let's say I woke up at 6 a.m. I can check this one off. I've now completed one of 3 habits, and that was wake up early. And we can see that over time, every single day, I can accumulate a streak for the amount of days in a row that I have completed this habit. Um, this feature also works for weekly habits. So this laundry habit was one that only occurs on Sunday. So we have a fire emoji here to represent that. For ones that currently don't occur consistently, like once a week or every day of the week, we'll just say I want to we'll say that we'll just call this a test habit here, just so I can show you. So let's say this one occurs on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. I can hit add habit here, and we'll see that this one actually represents a star. And so this is a different kind of streak. This one essentially will just tell you how many times you've completed this habit. And so what we can see here is we can also update our habits via the update habits here. We can choose to delete a habit, and we can also choose to update a habit respectively. Let's say instead of working out for 30 minutes, I want to work out for 60 minutes. I can set that here, save that, and it'll update back on my page here. Before we move on, I want to just highlight the widget for this. So we'll add that to the top right. So we have the habits here. And we can just see that we have our daily habits here, and we can mark these off as to do respectively. So now we'll move on to the anti-habits. This is essentially the opposite of habits, so habits that you want to break. So we'll just create a new one here, and we'll just say biting my nails. And then we'll say that I started this habit today. And I can hit OK, and we can say it's been 0 days since I stopped biting my nails. And so notably with this, you can accumulate the same sort of streak. So this is the number of days since you've done that habit, and we have a refresh item. So if you need to reset for whatever reason, you can do that here, and we can delete it here as well. So if there's another one, so we'll just create a test anti-habit here, and we'll say that I've been doing this since last week. I can hit OK here, so it's been 6 days since I've done this test anti-habit. And we'll say, okay, what if I need to reset? I can reset here, and we'll see that it goes back to 0. Likewise, we can delete them with the X there. Finally, we'll go and look at the widget for the anti-habits as well. It's pretty much the same as the other habits one. It just shows your anti-habits, and you can refresh these ones as we would expect. So the final feature of this application is our journal feature. So before I hop into essentially what it is, this journal feature is also customizable, just like many of the other features in Kaizen. So by default, we have this 4-prompt journal with some preset questions, and a how was your day question. So um, the goal of this was just to have more of a reflection. You can see what you did throughout the day. Were there any problems today? And you can kind of fill this out as you would like. And this how was your day? You can just click on, well, it was a good day today. I can click on this happy face here. Um, and we'll just say I filmed the Kaizen video today. We'll just fill that out in the first prompt here. And if we want to save, we can just hit this save button here and we can go back into it and see that it's there. Likewise, I want to go to the help tab here. This will just give you some basic information on our different features, but also under our help tab, we have our settings. So here we can kind of customize it to our liking. So by default, Windows users can have access to Discord Rich Presence, which will essentially show that they are using Kaizen on their Discord profile. In our to-do setting, we can show our epics on share. I will get into essentially what that is and show streaks on share. I will demo the share feature after we go through the journal settings. So the journal settings, we can have either a 4 prompt or a 2 prompt. And so we'll see if I set it to 2 prompt, it gets rid of these other questions. And we can change what those questions are here. Just to show you that it changes, I'll add 2 more question marks to each of them here. I can hit OK, go back here, and we'll see that the two journal entry gives us larger area to write. So that is kind of the idea behind that, and we'll see that the questions did indeed change here. Likewise, we can also disable that show us how is day prompt, and it will be gone. So just kind of some basic customization options that you can have. So before we move on to the share features, we will just go and show off the widget for the journal. So we have we can essentially set it to each different question that is asked, each different prompt. So if you're using the 2 prompt, the prompts are 1 and 3. So I can set it to 1 here, hit OK, and we'll see what events occurred today. I filled the Kaizen video today, and we can say I updated my to-do list, and I can hit save. And if we go back to the big journal here, we'll see that it's also there as well. The final bit about the journal before I move on is that we have previous entries and following entries. So you can actually view and save previous entries. I don't have any at the moment, but an entry is created pretty much every day. And if you don't hit save on those entries will not be saved. So this previous entry will bring you to the last one that you saved. So just a word of reminder. So now what I want to show is kind of the copy to clipboard feature. This is our signature share feature. So I'm just going to pull up a notepad to just show you generally how this works. So I can copy this to my clipboard, and we'll see this message that I got copied to my clipboard. And then I can paste here, and we'll see that I have my to-do list here, along with the names of the items and the associated epic with that item. If there's none, then there won't be anything. And then we can see the items that we've completed today. So the idea with this is essentially if you're in a community, an online community, and you want to share your to-do list, you can respectively here with this share button. And likewise, if we say we completed this review basic Java, we can recopy this and repaste it here, and we'll see that it gets moved down to our completed list. So that is our share for our to-do list. We can also go ahead and get rid of the show epics on share, and essentially all that will do is if I recopied it here, and I paste it here, we'll just see that there are no assigned epics to any of the items. So finally, what we will show off in Kaizen is the share the habits. Um, Likewise, we have that show habits on streak turned off. So we can just see that these are my habits that I have to do today, and wake up early, work out, and do my laundry. So if you're looking for people to keep you accountable, this is kind of a good way to see that. And many different platforms allow you to edit messages as well. So yeah. And finally, we can have the show streaks on share here. So if I go back to the habits, I copy it to my clipboard, and I paste here, we can see that my streak appears for each of the habits, and there are 0 for each of them. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up Kaizen. I hope this video was insightful on how to download and install and use Kaizen. If you enjoyed, uh, make sure to drop a comment if you have any questions, leave a like, as always. Join our community Discord server if you're looking for study content, Kaizen updates, software updates, Tomo study updates, anything like that. And if you're interested in supporting this project, you can go ahead and start our GitHub repo. You can obviously donate using Patreon. And yeah, I will continue to update this with more features as time progresses. But yeah, if you made it this far, you were here, and thank you for watching.